This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for July 3, 2023. And in the news this evening, cops says women being targeted in deadly St. Andrew gang war. Gang warfare is said to be at the center of Sunday's double murder in the Boat Island community on Spanish Town Road, St. Andrew. Shakira Thomas, 20, and Tyler Taylor, a 21-year-old Tyler, were shot dead during a brazen home invasion by heavily armed men in broad daylight. Police said gang members from Boat Island and the surrounding areas of Kidd and Norman Lanes, among others, have been conducting deadly attacks on their rivals and innocent family members. A cause for concern, the police said, is that females from both sides have been targeted by the men, who know each other and their families very well. Monday morning's fatal shooting of a businesswoman on Delamere Road in St. Andrew is said to have resulted from the gang conflict. According to the police, the woman was not involved in the conflict, but was a family member of some of the people involved. She was seen trailed and shot dead by gunmen. Police say they have been maintaining a heavy presence in the community to ward off any more attacks. In Sunday's double murder, it was reported that around 3:45 p.m., the two were at home when they were pounced on by a group of men, all armed with handguns and rifles. Police said the men opened fire at them, hitting Taylor in the head and Thomas multiple times in her upper body. St. Catherine North names the 5 most wanted men. Detectives assigned to the St. Catherine North Division have listed 5 men as wanted for several crimes committed across the parish. They are Shamar MacDonald, otherwise called the Chinaman of St. John's Road, St. Catherine. MacDonald is wanted for murder. Glendon Amos, otherwise called the Bull of Commodore District, St. Catherine, who is wanted for murder. Gregory Ferguson, otherwise called Ruff of Marchpen Road, St. Catherine, who is wanted for murder. Dean Norman, otherwise called Max of Berwick District, Riversdale, St. Catherine, who is wanted for murder, and Brian King, otherwise called Marlon King of Fletcherland, Kittentown, St. Catherine, who is wanted for shooting with intent. The men are being urged to turn themselves into the police immediately, while members of the public are being reminded that it is a criminal offense to harbor a fugitive. Investigators are therefore encouraging persons to continue sharing information to aid in the investigations by calling the Spanish Town Police at 876-984-2305 or 876-984-4490, Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, the police 119 number, or the nearest police station. Stepson of murdered banker pleads not guilty at a murder trial. Javin Garwood, who is implicated in the January 2021 shooting death of his stepmother, 51-year-old banker Andrea Lowe Garwood, while she worshipped in church, pleaded not guilty when he appeared in the Trelawney Circuit Court on Monday. He will face trial judge Chief Justice Brent Sykes to answer charges of murder and accessory before the fact when the trial gets underway on Tuesday. The accused is represented by attorney-at-law Kadeen Coleman. Lowe Garwood, who worked at the National Commercial Bank, was shot by a gunman who had sat behind her during a worship service at Agape Christian Fellowship Church on Market Street, Falmouth. She was taken to hospital where she died while undergoing treatment. Meanwhile, Dwight Bingham pleaded guilty to murder in the matter on Monday. Bingham, the alleged shooter, is charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, and illegal possession of firearm. He is to return to court for sentencing on July 25. In Nikita Noel's case, man accused of murder and rape remanded. Omar Green, the construction worker charged with the murder and rape of 9-year-old Hanover student Nikita Noel, is booked to reappear in court on Thursday of this week. Green was the estranged partner of the child's mother at the time of his alleged attack. The mentioned date was set when the case against the 42-year-old accused man from Barbary Hill, Lucy, was called up at the start of the Hillary term of the Hanover Circuit Court on Monday. Green's attorney Albert Morgan told the presiding Supreme Court Judge Justice Courtney Day that he is in the process of receiving full instructions from his client and the hope is to have this by Thursday. Morgan also requested of the court a fitness to plead report on Green, who remains in custody. He is remanded in custody until Thursday morning. Mr. Green, you are to be back here on Thursday, Justice Day told him. When Green last made an appearance in the Hanover Circuit Court on March 28, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions served a notice that the death penalty would be sought against him. At that time, the court had given a July 3 mention date for the file to be completed, a psychiatric evaluation report to be submitted, and a disclosure to be made of all the material to the defense. Nikita, a former Esher Primary School student, whose family members fondly called her Joanna, was killed on the afternoon of February 1, 2023. Earlier that morning, the accused and the child's mother allegedly had a domestic dispute. Reports are that the 9-year-old traveled from school with her usual taxi driver before she and other passengers exited the cab at the usual spot, the foot of a dirt road leading up a hill that leads to where her family lives. The child's mother raised an alarm after she did not return home as scheduled and could not be found. Community members and the police launched a search, and her body was found a few feet from the entrance to her home. Evil and Bossit among 12 listed as persons of interest amid Waterhouse violence. 12 men have been named as persons of interest by the St. Andrew South Police. In a release on Monday, the police said the men were all from the Balcom Drive and the 440 Drive areas of Waterhouse Kingston 11. They are Fabian Burke, otherwise called Shane or Bossit, Gregory Henderson, otherwise called Harry, Ryan Ankle, otherwise called Dean, Fabian Murphy, otherwise called the Baby Chow, Andre Hoffman, otherwise called the Little Man or Red Man, Mahale, first the name unknown, otherwise called Razor, frequents just the cool area of Waterhouse. Theodore Warhope, otherwise called Changi or Zidane. A man known only by the alias Frostman, a man known only by the alias Evil, a man known only by his alias Bashi, Shaquille Slater, first the name unknown, and a man known only by the aliases Robin and Rhino. These individuals are being asked to turn themselves into the St. Andrew South CIB at Hunts Bay by or before 4 p.m. on Monday, July 3. Police say there has been a flare-up of violence in the Balcom Drive and the 440 Drive communities of Waterhouse over the past several weeks. They believe the latter is the result of gang-related feuds in the area and that the above-named persons can assist in their investigations. Members of the Waterhouse community and the general public are being asked to make contact with the police if they know the whereabouts of the named individuals. Persons with information can contact the St. Andrew South Division Commanding Officer Damon Manderson, Superintendent of Police, at 876-832-9082, 119-311 or the nearest police station. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.